Hey guys, welcome back to Precisely Guessing. Today I am going to take you through how to get a file from the internet or one you make or whatever into a slicing software, slice it all up, get it ready for your printer, take it to the printer and print it out. So I have Thingaverse opened up right here. As you can see, I've already downloaded a chess queen. I'll just take you through real quick how you would go about doing that. So you just search up, something you want, which in this case could be chess. I actually don't like the one that I downloaded, so I'm gonna pick a different one. These ones look kind of cool. So open this guy up, scroll down. Down here you have thing files, and let's download the queen right here. So as you can see, it downloaded right down there. And now we're going to, actually, let's go ahead and download the rook and the bishop and the knight and the king and the pawn. Now you can see all of those are all downloaded in there, and I think what we're going to do is probably try and print out all of them, because why not? So now we will switch over to Slicer, and I will show you that. Okay, so I have Slicer opened up, and this is pretty much how it's going to open up just without doing anything at all. Sorry, there's a little tab over here. So right off the get-go, we're just going to go up here to the Add button and click Add, and we're going to add all of the pieces. So we're going to add the queen, then we'll go up here, click Add again, Rook 2, add that guy, click Add again, Bishop, add Knight, add King, add Pawn. Okay, and as you can see, these are kind of taking up like a lot of the build plate here, and I have a feeling that they are either too big or I don't have my printer settings right. So let's check that out. So we'll go up here to Settings, we'll go to Printer Settings, and set up our bed shape. It is correct for the printer that I'm going to be working on, rectangular, 150 by 150. Click OK. Custom G-code. I actually think I screwed this up last time I messed with it, but we'll just leave it alone for now. And I think we're going to leave all this other stuff alone. Go to filament settings. It is 1.75. I have one extruder. I think we're going to leave the temperatures as they are. Pretty happy with that. Cooling. I know I'm kind of just skipping through all this stuff. All of the printer settings and the filament settings are going to be pretty particular to what you're setting up. I'm going to be printing with PLA. That's why I have these settings the way they are. If you're printing with other materials like PTAG, PTAG or ABS or something along those lines, your settings are going to be quite a bit different. ABS maybe not quite as much, but PTAG definitely. So kind of, at your own risk. Print settings, here we go. This is where we're going to set up our infill, how many top and bottom layers, all that stuff. You can pretty much just leave it as basic when you're first starting out and then fine-tune your stuff later. I'm going to drop this down to like 5%. They really don't need to be thick at all. They're just chess pieces. So drop that down to 5. We're going to leave all that the way it is. Support material, we don't want any support material. Layers, perimeters, I think we're going to leave all of that alone. Let's go back to our platter. These are still just way bigger than I want them to be. So let's see, what can we do? We can scale everything. So we're going to go scale, And right now it's at 100%. Let's scale it down to, let's see what 50% looks like. It still looks pretty big. Let's drop it down to 25%. That looks better. Then we'll select this guy, drop it down the same percentage, scale, 25, scale, 25, scale, 25, 25. Okay, now I just came over here, clicked arrange. That's going to bring them all closer together, and that is now how they look. I think that's probably fine. I don't really need to make them any closer together. I think they'll be alright. We're just going to kind of see how everything goes. I am a little bit worried about this knight. This little fish guy here. I wasn't so much worried about the placement of him, but wonder if I'm going to need any supports for that. We'll print it without supports and see what happens. Okay, so once you have everything on your build platter, ready to go with all your settings correct, you're going to go up here to export G-code. G-code is what your printer is going to read. If you export STL, it's just what we're seeing on the screen here, so you could open up in another slicer software maybe. But your printer is not going to understand STL. You have to export the G-code. So we are going to do that. Export G-code. Let's go chess and just put it on the desktop here. And it's going to go through slicing it, everything like that. It's going to give us down here the print summary, how much filament it's going to use. In this software, at least with the version I have, it doesn't give us a print time or anything like that. It's pretty basic. If you go over here to layers, you can kind of check and see what it's going to do and kind of spot any problems ahead of time. So these are all the shapes and everything as you go up in layers, what it's going to do, and what you want to see is stuff piling on top of each other. If all of a sudden you see kind of an opening, so like right here, I don't know if you guys can see my cursor, but down at the bottom, that's being supported by the layer underneath. But if I saw two separate shapes right there, that would be kind of a red flag. It looks like everything is pretty good. It's going to all pile on top of each other. There's no odd shapes off to the sides. And I'd say that's probably good. We can also do a preview right here. And it'll show us kind of an actual what it's going to do. We drag this bar all the way to the bottom here. If my computer will work. I'll just do it with the arrow keys. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. Each layer, that's how it's going to build. That's how it's going to do everything. Everything looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So as you can see, the king is going to be the last thing to finish. I also scaled it down quite a bit, so it's probably going to be a little bit finicky with this top part here. But with that, I'm going to save it to an SD card, which I don't think I need to walk you guys through doing that. And we're going to put it in the printer, and I will show you guys that. Okay, so here we are at the printer. As you can see, I don't know if you guys watched my unboxing video, but I put some tape on here just to keep it from scratching up this plexiglass, and I'll have a better solution for that in the future. But for now, that's what I got. So, I'm going to turn this guy on. Just going to light up like that. We have the screen down here. And we're going to assume that I have already leveled the bed, because I have. And we're going to click this guy. And for some reason this thing says no SD card until I pop it out and pop it in while it's on, which I don't think is good for the SD card, but yeah. So we're going to select the SD card, scroll all the way, until we get to the file we just created, which is chest G code, and we're going to click it, and it's going to start heating the bed. And then after the bed is nice and hot right here, it will do everything it needs to do. So I'm going to set you guys up and let you watch. Okay, so they finished. This is what they look like. Super duper, super small. So I decided to print out a bigger set, and it's going pretty swimmingly. Those other ones were so small I couldn't even get them off the build plate. I broke a bunch of them because I was not careful. So with that, thanks for watching. Have a good one.